got the projectile limit. You know, if they're gonna camp you for diamond, you're gonna camp for limit. Things like that's gonna be very, very pivotal to the matchup. Excited to see how Manny and Omega Rugal stacks up here.
Yeah, here's the thing. We're going to Pokemon Stadium 2, which allows for a lot of playground, especially for Alex in this case, which she can just go around and start putting walls up in order to get extra room to get the necessary materials. Look at him go, gets the Flintstone into the TNT, which is a small punish, but hey, it works. It's definitely paying off. And careful, because those anvil setups on blocks are super scary.
He has that's the Gimmer shield break combo that was shown earlier on in Steve's lifespan. If he gets the footstool out of shield with the block, it'll instantly break your shield. And that already shows to me that Marshall's willing to go for some of the more tech intricate options for Steve to get bigger punishes like a shield break.
No, yeah, man, Manny is super smart when it comes to using those blocks for building, and especially for blocking, as funny as it sounds, for blocking all passage, just like this. Like, Rugal was forced to spend some time in it and trying to go at it, and this is the opportunity that Manny needs to either punish an approach, an unsafe approach, or to put him in just enough pressure to get him off the side of the stage, just like that.
Yeah, the way that Rugal has been playing is very textbook. I mean, forward tilt the blocks, dash attack, zone breaker, shoot your projectiles to try to hit Steve away. But I mean, you're playing against Steve. There's such a big X factor when he pulls that diamond. You're like, every hit I get, am I gonna die here? Are they gonna pull some Japanese Steve Twitter combo out on me and kill me, or am I gonna be able to have another chance at neutral?
Which is very likely. Very likely, because we've seen him do them before. But look, he's just all rock at the moment, and he used a lot of it just for that TNT. Doesn't matter. He's going to be mining for a little bit more of that. Gets iron for enough cards, but look at him go. Limit is ready. So how is he going to use it? Goes for the cross slash. Nothing happens out of it other than the dash attack that allows him to put into another edge guard situation.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really go super far off stage with Cloud, especially against a character with such good mix-up as that Electra Steve. But these ledge traps are going to be super important. I don't like the way he's doing that. He's putting himself into a zone that Steve can easily escape out of, and he's getting punished for it. I mean, he lost the stock there. I want him to play a little bit far back, rely on that, that Swiss Army knife dash attack. That's going to be super good in the matchup.
Right, careful, nice, catching that minecart, which is absolutely necessary. You don't want to get caught up like that, because that will give Manny just enough time to either mine more or set up for something even nastier. So you got to respect it, especially once you got a wall in which the minecart will bounce and put you even in a worse position that you were initially in.
That was really scary. He swung at the blocks, got a whiff, but didn't find a punish for Manny here. Gonna try to cover the normal, get up with the TNT. That's a difficult timing to hit. Here we go now. The up B somehow trading Marshall. I mean, just needs one hit, finds the pickaxe with the diamond pickaxe, but not enough to kill. Rugal has another chance of recovering.
It's doable, but no. The lava being such a high pressure too, but it was still under the anvil, right? Like, if the block, if it wasn't the lava, it could have been the anvil, the diamond sword that was ready to let it rip as well. Like, he basically covered so many opportunities, instances in which Omega Rugal could have recovered there. He just did so well at covering all of them and punishing effectively to get game number 1.
That was like 4 hitboxes. The anvil dropping on the block, the anvil
lava
breaking the block, the lava having 2 hitboxes.
On both sides,
if the back hitbox kill you, your angle, you're dead. Like, that's crazy. Just
Team
like,
1.
It's so broken. I hate Steve so much. That was so crazy.
All right, but we're going into game number 2. Same stage, same instance, and same opportunities for both of them to make changes, especially Rugal. He needed that because, as you mentioned, he was putting himself in very uncomfortable situations in which Manny just could let it rip by the side, and especially with Diamond, that meant translated into a stock. So maybe change that, maybe get a little bit more of stage control. I don't know what do you recommend, BJ, that could change in Rugal's playstyle to avoid getting punished like that?
I think it's really important that he kind of stays around the burst range a little bit better. Cloud has the ability to burst into a dash attack. It's something that's really good at covering anti-airs. Somehow, you know, kind of play around with the way Manny likes to use that minecart to burst out, the way he likes to land with Anvil. Play a little bit farther back. You can afford it with the range. As soon as you start, as soon as they start doing something laggy or placing blocks, you know, cover some space, you know, draw the hitbox. But the way he's spacing can be very, very scary against a character like Steve.
Yeah, no, you gotta be careful because that TNT is ready to rip, and you gotta be extra mindful, and you don't want to get caught up in those situations. The shield was already down. If that had connected, maybe that could have broken the shield as well. Like, you're falling into Manny's traps. Like, it's just a big brain redstone mechanical engineer in that mind. You need that big brain, and Manny's just taking advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a Steve that's truly optimized that block into Anvil in the scramble situation. Super important up-close option, especially when your opponent uses the shield. It's a shield break option, it's a kill setup. It's something that you have to respect so much, and Manny's usage of this Anvil has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, every single resource that he gets, he's got some iron ready in case he needs that, and just like that, he goes for an option that allows him. Look at him once. No, don't do it. Wow, just like that, taking the train to uphill town is just insane. You don't want to get caught up in those situations. Once again, Rugal finding himself in situations where he is trapped for the most part, and this is exactly where Manny wants him.
Playing super aggressive here on these ledge traps. Take a little bit more center space, Rugal. Play a little bit safer around Steve, because Steve's bursts are some of the most like random and weird options in the game. Elytra burst, side B, a lot of crazy ways to close the distance. You need to be very aware of that and play at a reactable range where you can punish it accordingly. Like that, he got a dash attack off of a whip grab.
Now here's the thing. Both of them are really close. You don't want to get grabbed there. You don't want to get smash attack. Once again, that trade was not worth it for Rugal. He needs to bring this stock immediately before Manny starts doing those turret combos, especially since he's got golden tools, especially the axe being so good. He's just, look, Manny goes for the safety, the triangle of life, as you'd call it, just taking advantage of those random blocks, using them as coverage, using them as potential Anvil landing spots. Like, it's just very smart how Manny plays with his blocks overall.
But Omega Rugal trying to put an end to all of the shenanigans with the building, but he's closing the distance. As soon as he overextends just a little bit, Manny is taking center stage control, and a great double parry from Omega Rugal, that auto parry coming into clutch there. Here we go. Scary scramble situation, especially up close against Steve, against a character that has or a player that has that tech, but Manny has not been mining. He's been relying on getting these straight hits with this diamond pickaxe. He needs to pull some iron. He needs to get those resources back on deck, because it's so hard to play against Cloud without any blocks.
Right, no, I 100% agree with that, but then again, you only need diamond. You only need to find an opportunity in which Omega Rugal makes a risky decision, as he has so far, and just let it rip the same way that Omega Rugal does. But it's really hard to catch him, but he goes exactly where, look at Spargo popping up.
He felt that too. He's a Cloud main. He's like,
yes, sir. No, he felt it, and that was really good. Look at him. He's super happy about it. They're just from the same region, same city. They are enjoying this moment. Everyone in that tournament is enjoying themselves so much. You guys, if you ever thought about going down to compete in Mexico, do it. Everybody's super hard, super warm. Like, they're super kind. And I'm sure they'll treat you fine.
Oh no, that's really funny. It's like, that universal Smash instinct where every time someone goes for a 2-frame, the entire Smash community bobs their head forward. Like, that was an amazing, I'm a Cloud player, he's a Cloud player. I knew exactly he wanted that. That's some great character development for the Cloud players out there. But Manny does not care about any, spiritual connection between Omega Rugal and Spargo. He's willing to break it here. With that good start, 63%. Town and City, interesting choice. I feel like the bigger stage is going to allow Manny to pull more resources, but Omega Rugal is going to be very good at utilizing that range. Interesting choice.
Yeah, the funny part is that most of what he will get is wood, and you can see it from his bar. He's getting, for the most part, wood, because that's what's based on this. The materials you get are based from the stage that you're in. And since this is mostly wood, that will basically nullify, not by a big margin, but nullify the amount of iron and rock and stuff that he'll get. So that's very smart. However, it's still Manny who is putting a great display on how to use this character and how to use what you're given in order to still get up on top.
The way that Omega Rugal is playing this is so scary. He's being really, really aggressive as soon as he gets Manny into an uncomfortable position, and it's really showing here. I mean, he's kind of getting flustered in these offstage situations. Cloud's moves are strong enough to beat out that side B, that minecart outright. And if Omega Rugal can continue to burst in this distance and keep this, you know, insane onslaught of this point, it's going to be really hard for Manny to get anything going.
Yeah, the hard part here is actually getting it right, just as he does, getting limit to the right amount of charge so it doesn't go immediately to waste and get the most out of it. However, you notice how Manny is mostly playing with wood. That's still not a big hindrance. He's still working it out, but it could be detrimental to his playstyle, as we've seen from the previous games.
Yeah, especially without the stone there as well. You don't get stone tools immediately, so it's something that you have to play around wood a lot more.
Yeah.
But yeah, the powered up minecart rail is going to be able to take it there. That's really unfortunate for Omega Rugal. Once again, playing a little bit too close to Steve's first ranges. Great forward air though, but very good DI from Manny not to get spiked off stage.
I know.
And speaking of spikes off stage, carrying across the stage, that's crazy stuff.
And that's the scary part about wood. It could just get you to one side to the other with hey, look at him building a platform there just to put a bigger threat in. I'm sure Omega Rugal felt it.
Well, missing the wave plan on the platform, that's actually a huge miscue, but able to make it back. I mean, the Steve recovery is one thing that I just don't know why it's so good, but, you know, the Steve players are going to be able to run away with that. Being able to kind of mess around off stage a little bit more, especially against a character like Cloud that can't really go off stage. One of the cruxes of playing Cloud. Look at this pressure with these back airs. So scary, but Manny being resilient on the platform, saying, I know when I can drop shield, I know you're not going to be able to swing once you're in end lag and, you know, getting off the ledge, but he hasn't gotten off the ledge yet. I spoke a little bit too soon. Another back air sending him off stage.
Oh, and down air. Finally catching him. It was fishing for it. He needed that, and still Manny struggling to get the right materials in order to get something started. He has wood, and every time he gets iron, he uses it either on an anvil or a cart, and it's really hard to play around with the stuff that he gets, right? So it could be detrimental. It is detrimental to his usual playstyle, and that's why I think he's stuck a little bit more in the defensive. And Rugal surviving, but just by a little bit. Now the diamond is on deck. What could happen?
The back air? That's going to be able to take it, yeah. Something that I want to know for the people at home that haven't seen Steve before, the way that tools work is it depends on what move they do. So up tilt, up air will be done with axe. Forward air and back air will be done with pickaxe. And then the neutral air will be done with sword along with
the jabs as well.
With the jabs. And kind of like a Mega Man jab, you can walk with it. But the thing about the stage counter picks is that each stage gives a different material. And the materials say it's a wooden stage, there's a different like order. So you'll get diamond a little bit earlier on certain stages, and it uses that tool. So on a wooden stage, you're going to be using axe a lot more. So you have less up tilts and you have less up airs. And then on stages with stone, you have less back airs and forward airs. So it's just, Steve is just one of those characters where it's like, they give so many like small things for Steve players to know that when they're aware of it, it's super impressive. Like there's so many levels you have to understand as Steve.
Yeah, a lot of nuances, but that's just the great thing about real good Steve players. Like you saw how Manny was mostly using wood, but he was using his sword to the best of his ability. He was using the axe to the best of his ability. So it could be, you could argue that, well, they're hindered, right? Because they're not getting their full materials, but they can work. They have to be good with whatever you're given once you start mining. So that's the great thing about this competitor in particular.
Yeah, this stage is going to give a little bit more stone, which allows you to get some stone tools. Of course, you know, the usual wood, stone, iron, gold, diamond progression as in Minecraft. But, I mean, who cares, right? When you're Steve players are ready to use whatever they're given. If you give them a stick and a torch, they're going to find a way to combo you into a kill-off stage. They're fiends out here.
No, yeah, that's actually factually correct. But again, Rugal is starting to get a sense of what he needs to do as long as he doesn't get caught up. I'm loving his work by the ledge. He's being more accurate, more aggressive, it's paying off quite a lot. So he just needs to keep this up, while Manny just needs to keep on doing his own thing now that he has the full display of materials at his disposal.
Yeah, and the calculated aggression is super good. Another up smash there to punish the jump out of the minecart. The way that you deal with minecart is super important because it kind of changes the way Steves get out of the corner. They love to do those burst options, a Lytra side B, or maybe even go high with some blocks. The way that Omega Rugal is playing, his spacing has been on point to cover these options. Maybe he's not getting a hit, but he's keeping Manny in the corner, which requires more block usage, more material usage, and you're seeing here, he hardly has any material to work with, but who needs it? You got an anvil.
Exactly, as I said, he's just working with what he has, and he's doing amazingly. Hey, careful, no Twitter combos, not at this point at least, but as Diamond shows up, you know that it's extremely dangerous, but the get off me option will always be there. No shield poke over there, but still, it's looking extremely even overall, PJ. They're just hitting each other back and forth, and nobody's got a clear lead, except that, of course, Manny is one ahead on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, you're back to the wall here, but I feel like Omega Rugal, if he can kind of, continue with this adaptation, it's going to be completely fine. And adaptation, that is, those two up smashes there to punish minecart. The low minecarts are getting punished. Now, Manny has to worry about getting out of the corner, because if he commits to a jump, you're going to be met with a back air. If you go low, you're going to be met with an up smash on the lag. I mean, this is Rugal really putting onto display how to play with this sword game versus Steve.
Yeah, and someone in chat mentioned it actually, like how maybe Rugal could use the downtime a little better. Of course, you don't want to allow Steve or Alex in this case to mine forever, right? But if you have an opportunity, like if you're walled out already, why not instead try to go for a limit charge that allows you to like put yourself in a favorable position once that downtime is over, like try to manage your time a little better without, of course, getting that foot of the acceleration pedal.
I think that's something that's very interesting when players have their own personal resource against Steve is what they choose to do with their pressure.
Right.
Are they going to force them to not pull block and they don't get their resource themselves? So Cloud won't get limit, but hey, Manny won't have an opportunity to get those anvils out, get those blocks out. Or is he going to go for limit charge, go with the increased movement speed? It's up to the player, and I think that's just one of the nuances of the Steve matchups, player versus player-wise.
Now, here's the thing. Careful. We got Diamond. We got an opportunity here. No, not enough iron. And that's the thing. You don't want to let them charge all of those precious materials that he needs. That would have or could have been the stocks. And really, Omega Rugal needs it right now in order to bring us to game number 5.
That shield is going to break with any other hit, but that side B in the scramble situation is going to take it. Everybody jumping up in the venue there. They were like, you're going to side B. Who's expecting that? And man, that's crazy.
That's beautiful. And as I mentioned, we're going down to game 5. They're both like talking to each other like, hey, what happened? Was that I don't know, like they know that they're just a couple hits away. Like their skill level is quite matched, I would dare say. And the fact of the matter is that we're in game 5 after all, right? So let's put all of the knowledge acquired into this last opportunity for both of them, because we are in the loser side of bracket.
Yeah, these last 3 stocks are what all that matters in a best of 5 set. Game 5, going to small battlefield here. An interesting choice for Steve. Maybe he was noticing that he was able to kind of get away with escaping the ledge when having the less room, but scary scramble situation, that limit kind of coming out as well. Goes for the finishing touch. I don't know what that was about, but if that anvil exploded at TNT, that would have broke his shield. I don't even know how that interaction plays out, but it's just so scary every time Steve has the opportunity to get that TNT and anvil started.
Yeah, you never know what the outcome is going to be, because sometimes it is a Steve that gets punished by his own projectile. So you gotta be super mindful again landing on those anvils, and that's really bad for Omega Rugal, because the shorter blast zones in this case will play a big part in this, and Manny's just going with it and trying to get the parry and not losing the stock just yet. But really, this first stock could go to anyone.
And yeah, and it goes to the powered up minecart. I mean, something that it's like another level that I keep bringing up these different levels of Steve gameplay, but having powered minecart makes it come out faster, makes it a kill move. It's just so crazy how many mix-ups Steve has inside of him, but One of the mix-ups that you do need to worry about is getting off the ledge against Omega Rule and gets punished with an up smash for the roll. Getting a little bit scared on the ledge, but with 66% on you and looking to lose the stock there, I mean, this is scary.
Yeah, no, like he's trying to get off the ledge, but Manny is just pushing him a little bit further. And now here's the thing: Cloud with this amount of rage that he's building could be very dangerous. However, the way Manny is playing, it's not making it easy at all. So maybe just letting rip one of those up B straight SDI, trying to avoid all of it, and that he does get it. So it's really hard, especially once the right tool is south. In this case, the diamond pickaxe to get something started gets. Dude, did you see that? He was trying to get the spike.
He tried to get the dirty stuff there. That was a back throw, wall tech into the forward air. I like that a lot from Omega Rugal, but Manny able to, narrowly avoid that spike hitbox. So scary when the blocks come back to haunt you. Omega Rugal swinging at the fences here, wants to close out this stock, but Manny is holding onto it with dear life, losing the pickaxe. Doesn't get that strong forward air and back air now, but if he's able to craft, get some gold maybe. Dash attack gonna punish the electric cross up on the shield. Omega Rugal needs the stock now.
Ooh, I thought he was gonna go for a finishing touch or something, but no, instead goes for the clean hazard with the limit. Okay, now here's the opportunity. This game is for either one of them, because right now they're both being extremely careful, extremely aggressive as well, and it could go either way at this point. Like, there's nothing written in stone just yet. Limit is just about to get ready. Rugal just needs a couple combos, a couple strings in order to bring it back.
Yeah, I mean, it's Cloud, the damage output, the ability to win neutral with this damage, 58%. That's a limit-assisted combo there. The increased movement speed is going to be able to get him a little bit more out of the hits, but that down air almost connected and not getting punished on the low recovery. I'm so scared for both of these players. He tried to set up an anvil situation there as well, dashing back out of the grab. The scramble situation is absolutely insane. Tech chase on the platform, not finding anything. I don't know what is happening here between these players.
All right, no materials, though, so you got to be extremely careful. He's going to go for those trying to get the two frame, but instead punishes the grab. And here's the thing, this is the opportunity that both of them need, but in this case it is Rugal who's putting the pressure to the maximum, considering Manny has no materials to play with and limit being really close. No spike, but the pressure is on PJ.
Has him on the ledge tree, one ledge trap away from taking it, goes for the neutral B, the blade beam not finding the connection though, and that back is going to be able to close it out. Omega Rugal clutches it out, the pit venue popping off half of them, just nodding their head.